Hello, my name is Mike Daniels, and this video should serve as an introduction and an inspiration to participate in an activity millions of people the world over partake in. While the brewing of beer has been around for thousands of years, the craft brew industry itself has recently experienced a major boom. Brewing has been a source of joy and a great hobby for millions of people, and hopefully it will be for you too. Is there any experimenting involved when I brew? Absolutely, absolutely. Everything from minor temperature changes to changing up an ingredient, maybe a different strain of hop or different yeast. Those are all experiments that I undertake when I brew.
You know, you've probably heard brewing is both science and art. Personally, I'm more of the artistic side of it. You know, I know just enough science to get me by, make sure, you know, that the beer is what it should be, and if I'm making a recipe that it'll turn out the way I want it to turn out, but I always have more of like an artistic approach to brewing.
There's all kinds of different steps that are involved in the brewing process, and it really depends on how complicated you want to make it. You can get involved and have a couple steps which remain mostly the same. In the most simple form, it's extract brewing, which just basically involves boiling and then fermenting. That's basically all it is in brewing, is you're boiling something and then you're fermenting it. There's three main ingredients. The first one that's commonly overlooked is water. The quality of your water matters. The water chemistry matters. It matters what sort of compounds are in your water. The second thing that goes into every beer is malt. Now, how you get your malt is up to you. You can either get malt extract or you can get your own mashed malts from your local homebrew store. The third ingredient that goes into every brew is hops. These provide both flavoring and bittering agents for your beer. They also act as a preservative. Brew day for me is about 6 to 7 hours. Everywhere from setup to cleanup, and that's what I do. Is I do all grain brewing, which is extracting fermentable sugars from your grain itself instead of using extract. So it's typically a longer process, but I have more control over the flavor, and it's more closely related to what production brewers do.
I basically take a reverse approach. I start with the finished product, like what do I want out of this beer? You know, do I want something malty? Do I want something, dry, light? Do I want it hoppy? What sort of flavors do I want in the beer itself? And then I take that and then I'll go a little bit deeper into it. You know, what sort of stats do I want on the beer? You know, how light or dark do I want it? What sort of alcohol content do I want? And then I'll sort of work backwards, and then I'll start coming up with some ingredient choices, and I'll narrow it down from there, working with both the malt bill and the hop schedule. And generally, I don't necessarily like to brew to style, but if I am brewing to style, I'll look up style guidelines and, you know, get some sort of some buzzwords about a particular style, and then use that definition of a particular style to create the beer.
It took me a while before I actually dove in to really get into the hobby. My advice, my tips would be to just go for it. It seems like a big investment starting off, but it's really something that you're going to come to love in the long run. I would suggest learning as much as you can about it. It's a really fulfilling hobby in the end.